I just wanted to check out my future plane, but I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris refuses. Why does she refuse to answer questions from the media?
Madam Vice President!
What you got?
This was a rather, shall we say, awkward moment.
Especially if you don't have a real plan, or even if you do. Yes,
Also,
it gets real creepy real quick.
Tim Walz put it so well. What do we do with bullies? We're not afraid of them, that they're just insecure, and that underneath it all, Trump and Vance are not only weird, they're creepy.
These are weird people on the other side. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam room. That's what it comes down to. And don't, get sugarcoating this. These are weird ideas. Listen to them speak. Listen to how they talk about things. Listen to how your previous guests were right. Like you said, they've told them that they shouldn't talk about race. They can't help it. It is built into their DNA because there is no plan. There's no healthcare plan. There's nothing to do on this. They want to take away our alliances and leave Russia to do whatever they want. Look, they are bad on foreign policy. They are bad on the environment. They certainly have no healthcare plan. And they keep talking about the middle class that, as I said, a robber baron real estate guy and a venture capitalist trying to tell us they understand who we are. They don't know who we are.
And what does Vance do in order to mitigate this idea that he's creepy? Well, he decides to stalk Harris, not only by seemingly following her from state to state, but after his really sad rally. Yes, in Trump's words, it's sad because there was only about 200 people compared to the 12,000 person rally she had.
So, to those who know him best, Tim is more than a governor. To his wife, Gwen, he is a husband. To his kids, Hope and Gus, he is a dad. To his fellow veterans, he is Sergeant Major Walz. To the people of southern Minnesota, for 12 years, he was congressman. To his former high school students, he was Mr. Walz. And to his former high school football players, he was coach. And in 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States.
He decides to stalk her and go to her plane in order to confront her and have some sort of conversation.
This was a rather, shall we say, awkward moment. JD Vance approached Kamala Harris's Air Force Two while his plane and her plane were both on the same Wisconsin tarmac yesterday. Here was his explanation of what he was trying to do.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to check out my future plane, but I also wanted to go say hello to the vice president and ask her why Kamala Harris refuses. Why does she refuse to answer questions from the media? And I also thought that the press gaggle following her might get a little lonely. I at least have enough respect for you all and for the American people you report to come and talk to you and to answer some questions. And so I thought her reporters might actually benefit from that as well. So had a little bit of fun. I don't think the vice president waved at me as she drove away, but I'm glad to have done it.
So far, I'm never going to question, politicians should talk to the media as blanket rule. However, I am a little curious, Isaac, what might have happened had he actually encountered Kamala Harris on the tarmac? How that would have gone down.
Yeah, we'll never know, I guess. JD Vance is obviously trying to have a better week for himself than he had last week, and has been getting covered for other reasons now. But I guess he saw the opportunity on the tarmac yesterday and decided to try for it. But
there are like 8 states that we're focusing on. So this could happen again in any of those places anytime.
Well, he's kind of following her around, like if you look at the schedules, right?
I would warn the Trump campaign, even though, yes, you defeated Hillary Clinton in 2016, history is replete with male candidates overstepping their bounds against female candidates. And the backfire that can have Especially if you don't have a real plan, or even if you do. Yes,
Also,
it gets real creepy real quick if you make a mistake.
It does. And sort of also, like, what was his vision? He was just going to roll up on her, and Secret Service was not going to be like, dude, what's going on? I mean, it's bizarre.
Ask Senator Rick Lazio, right?
Right.
Senator Erskine Bowles.
Right.
Names it, yes.
Yes.
We have to dig deep. We have to dig deep here on that.
And it touches into, Walz said on Tuesday, not just weird, but creepy. That's what Democrats are going to want to try to play this into. And Doug, you're not a Democrat, but you're saying that too.
Immature. It was so childish.
Okay. Immensely creepy, but also very disrespectful. There's about 100 senators and tons of representatives, whole bunch of us everyday American citizens that would love to also just have this random conversation. But she happens to be the vice president of the United States, not only a candidate for the presidency. She's busy. She's very busy. She's protected by Secret Service. If you want to have a conversation with her, you might need to make an appointment. We may not know who Vance really is, but we know what he is not, which is good with women voters. Not only did he double down on his childless cat lady comment, despite the fact that pretty much every woman out there finds that offensive because we don't want our worth to be tied on whether or not we decide to have children.
His running mate shares his dangerous and backward agenda for this country. JD Vance literally wrote the foreword for the architect of the Project 2025 agenda. Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? Look.
And he goes and he shows up unannounced and uninvited at Harris Airplane, which is pretty much every woman's worst fear, is to have the person they don't like show up at their doorstep. So he's showing himself to be, yes, weird, yes, creepy.
JD Vance, is he ready on day one?
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact.
As I said, is JD Vance ready on day one? He did not answer that question. He answered it around it, but he did not answer my question.
This latest appearance by Donald Trump. But one of the things I saw was he was asked about JD Vance. And if I understand right, his answer was basically to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter that much to the outcome of the campaign, who you pick for VP. Which means it did not occur to him to even pretend to be interested in the impact of the vice presidential choice on the country. It's one of the most serious, in fact, the most serious choice that a candidate makes as a candidate, because it's the one thing that goes into effect for the entire country automatically if that candidate gets elected. And yet, as somebody who's just incapable of thinking or caring about the rest of the country and about how elections affect our lives, I think it's very telling that when he got a question about the embarrassments that have been caused by his own choice for running mate and VP in JD Vance, he didn't even try to defend what kind of vice president he would be for the country or whether he would be ready on day one. Instead, just talked about it completely in terms of politics. Of course, the politics of this aren't that great for him either.
Don't worry, Trump and Vance haven't lost all their friends. The Project 2025 founder came out and said, yeah, we might have had to slightly disassociate ourselves in order to help him win, but we're still besties.
But look, I coached football for enough years. When somebody draws up a playbook, they plan on using it. And when they do, they'll restrict our freedoms. When they do, they'll do what they've done. They'll rig the economy so that the middle class gets nothing and the rich get richer. If this guy gets an opportunity again, he won't only pick up where he left off, it will be much worse than it was last time. He'll gut Social Security, pull your health care, underfund public schools, all of it. That's damn right. Damn right. We're not going back.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.